How's it going, YouTube? The 1MFP here. Today we're reacting to another 21 Pilots song. And yesterday I opened up YouTube and I saw you guys comment on my last 21 Pilots My Blood teaser video, my reaction video for that. And you mentioned that the full My Blood song was released. So today here we are, ready to react to My Blood. Now if you haven't already seen my video for the reaction to that trailer or to that teaser, which was basically just a short snippet of the song that was played at the end of the commercial played at the VMAs, be sure to check that out. I'll link it right above here. And if you're new here, welcome to the channel. My name is Matt. I post reaction videos on this channel every single day, so if you enjoy that type of content and you enjoy this video, please take the time to check out some of my other videos, and if you like that, please subscribe. I appreciate your support. Now let's get right into my reaction for 21 Pilots My Blood. Oh, is there? It said official audio, but there seems to be a video?
When everyone you thought you knew deserts your fight, I'll go with you. You're facing down a dark hall, I'll grab my light and go with you. I'll go with you.
This is not that disco pop sound I was hearing in that snippet. Slow and mellow.
I'll go with you. Surrounded and up against the wall, I'll shred them all and go with you. When choices end, I'll go with you. I'll go with you. I'll go with you. Yeah.
Ah, here it is. If you find yourself in a lion's den, I'll jump right in and pull my pin and go with you. I'll go with you. I'll go with you. With you, my blood, I'll go with you. Yeah. Stay with me. No, you don't need to run. Stay with me, my blood. You don't need to run. Stay with me. No, you don't need to run. Stay with me, my blood. You don't need to run. No, you don't need to run. Stay with me, my blood. Alright, so this is interesting because at the end of my Levitate video I did mention that I wasn't sure where they would go next with the sound, because between Jumpsuit, Nico and the Niners, and Levitate we had very different sounds. Then we got this disco pop sound in the teaser trailer for My Blood, and you know, I kind of assumed that would be the sound throughout this song, and that's not what we got. You know, you have the chorus that is identical to what we saw in the teaser, but the rest of the song is very different sounding from that. Like, you have this build up, and then we get to this disco pop sound, then we go back to this mellow, slow sound. So he switches that up quite nicely, and in my reaction to the teaser, I did mention that I thought that this song would be sung from Nico's perspective, just because of the lyrics we were hearing in that teaser. And I still think that. I will have to look into the lyrics to, you know, really read into everything he was saying. I did pick up on a few lines, especially towards the end of the song. There was something about going in the lion's den and, you know, pulling the pin. That kind of insinuates that, you know, Tyler is going to be in this place, this type of place that's been present throughout this series. You know, he's stuck in this dark place. Even in Heavy Dirty Soul, he was stuck in a dark place, and he managed to escape through different means. And Nico seems to be alluding to the fact that you will always come back to that bad place. You know, Lion's Den, you're about to get eaten. Eaten by whom? I'm guessing critics. And Nico is essentially saying, I could save you from that. And if we play off of the thoughts I had in previous videos about, you know, Nico representing you know, this leader of Dima. We also describe Dima as this safe place. You know, you go to this place where you could conform to certain ideals and you will be safe within the boundaries of those ideals. You know, Dima being a safe place and Nico talking about this dangerous place that Tyler could end up in, you could see that Nico is really trying to entice Tyler to sell out, if you will. But let's read into the full lyrics for the song. So in verse 1, it starts off with, when everyone you thought you knew deserts your fight, I'll go with you. You're facing down a dark hall, I'll grab my light and go with you. I find this interesting because in Nico and the Niners, I noticed that Nico and the Bishops had this light. They had like a light bulb that seemed to mimic the torches we saw the Banditos carry. And, you know, if you watched my prior reactions to the 21 Pilots songs and videos, you notice that I reference fire a lot because I noticed that fire seems to come up in a positive light multiple times throughout the series. It starts with Heavy Dirty Soul. You know, the car is set to flames in a triumphant moment where Tyler escapes the car, which I saw as his thoughts. He managed to escape his dark thoughts, reunited with music, and it was just this triumphant moment where the car was in the background in flames. The drum set was in flames. It was just a cool moment. Then you fast forward to Nico and the Niners. You notice the Banditos have those torches, and right in that rap section in the middle of the song, or towards the end of the song, you have Tyler surrounded by the Banditos carrying those torches. And then we fast forward even further to Levitate, and he references it lyrically. He's saying, ever since the 7th grade, I've learned how to fire breathe. And you know, that's kind of a rap saying he's known how to write a good song ever since the 7th grade. And visually through the videos, you really see fire as this element that's lighting up dark places, you know, whether it's the underground, whether it's the outskirts that we see outside of Dima. And he even mentions that he's flying on a fire from Nico and the Niners. And by the time we get to Levitate, we notice that there's this common theme throughout Jumpsuit, Nico and the Niners, and Levitate of, you know, being uplifted from that dark place. So fire overall has represented something positive, but then in Nico and the Niners we see the Bishops with lights, artificial lights. So I'm guessing that these artificial lights are made to mimic what we see outside. You know, that's kind of this concept with mainstream as well. They borrow ideas from outside and they, you know, bring it within, and they implement it within their own concepts, and they make that the standard. And fire overall is this symbol for desire and determination. I feel like within the industry, you don't necessarily need this fire. You have this light that's, you know, it's always going to be lit for you. You don't need to worry about starting a fire or maintaining a fire. The light will always be lit. So that's what I'm seeing this light being representative of. It's this artificial light created to mimic what we see in the outside with these torches and these fires. And then we go into something that repeats itself quite a bit. It says, I'll go with you, I'll go with you. It says it, I think, 9 times here? 7 times. Before we go into verse 2, and then pre-chorus again after verse 2 is, I'll go with you, I'll go with you. There's a lot of, you know, encouraging to follow. Before we get into that, let's go right into verse 2. Surrounded up against a wall, I'll shred them all and go with you. When choices end, you must defend, I'll grab my bat and go with you. Going back to verse 1, he talks about, you know, when everyone you thought you knew deserts your fight, I'll go with you. Perhaps he's alluding to the fact that Tyler fears possibly, you know, the people who do currently love him will eventually turn on him. He could stay in this realm of creativity and enjoy what comes of it, but perhaps there will come a day where he won't be able to meet expectations, and I think that's part of the fear he has, which is something that Nico is using to draw him into Dima. In verse 2, he's saying, surrounded up against the wall. Perhaps Tyler is the one creating these walls by creating his own path. He's setting up these own walls that he will be confined within eventually. And Nico is saying he'll be able to shred all of that, and whatever critics you have, he'll grab his bat and go to war for Tyler. Then we go back to the I'll go with you, I'll go with you. And you have that chorus. Is that the first time we hear it? Yes. Stay with me, no, you don't need to run. Stay with me, my blood, you don't need to run. Stay with me, you don't need to run, my blood. I've already gone over the chorus in my prior reaction to this video, which was the reaction to the teaser, so check that out. But overall, you know, it's saying stay with me, no, you don't need to run. Tyler feels like he shouldn't be in Dima. He thinks that he needs to be in those outskirts with the Banditos where he has free reins. He could be as creative as he wants. He could do whatever he wants. Within Dima, you're restricted to certain standards. And Nico is trying to say that, you know what, you have this idea of us and it's really not that bad here. You don't need to run away from this place. I'll show you that we could be really good to you. You're my blood now. So you're part of this. You're part of us. And then we go into verse 3. If there comes a day, people post it up at the end of your driveway. They're calling for your head. They're calling for your name. And again, we're going back to exactly what he was saying in verse 1 and verse 2. He's saying that eventually the people will turn on you. And you won't have anywhere to turn to. And there is this common theme of Tyler always being dragged back to this dark place. You know, he manages to get out of the car in Heavy Dirty Soul because of music. But by the very end of the video, you see him caught right back in the backseat of a car asleep. That could be representative of the fact that by the time the music ends, he's stuck again. Jumpsuit, he was very close to following Nico before the Banditos showed him support. He ends up escaping and he gets to this camp with the Banditos, but eventually Nico comes back and grabs him away from the Banditos and he's back in a dark place. So there will always be this time where Tyler will be caught in a dark place and Nico is saying that, you know what, eventually you won't have an escape. If you stay here, if you stay with us, you won't ever need to escape. You will always be fine. It is the safe place. And then by the end of the verse, he's saying, do they know I was grown with you? If they're here to smoke, no, I'll go with you. Just keep it outside, yeah. Keep it outside. Do they know I was grown with you? That basically, to me, means that, you know, people think that he's just trying to escape Dima, but there is this part of him that sees Dima as an alternative, and he hates that, I feel. And that's why he's so insistent on running away from it. And then by the final verse, we get to this part where it says, if you find yourself in a lion's den, I'll jump right in and pull my pin and go with you. Now, I did hear this part when I was actually listening to the song. I really paid attention to it as I heard it. We referenced this earlier in this reaction. If you find yourself in a lion's den is basically a place you don't want to be in because you're about to be eaten up. So we kind of were led into this point where, you know, these people are outside of your door waiting for you. Now you're really inside the lion's den. You're really about to get eaten. Nico's saying, if it ever comes to that point, I will protect you. I'll go to bat for you. I'll pull the pin. That basically means that I will sacrifice myself for you. I feel like it's just, again, this idea of saying something enticing to draw him in. And it ends with this chorus where Nico's trying to make him feel part of something. And I'm interested to see if they release a full music video for this, because the video we have for it right now is just, I guess, Tyler recording the song or recording something. The whole video, that's what we see. So hopefully we eventually get a full video, and perhaps it will play off of where we left off from in Levitate. If it does, I'm interested to see if that light that we saw in Nico and the Niners makes an appearance again, if we see artificial light contrasted to realistic light, to this true fire and desire that comes from inside. And I'm interested to see what it looks like within Dima, what it looks like with Tyler interacting directly with Nico. That's what I think we will see. And, you know, instead of Tyler being surrounded by banditos, perhaps we'll see Tyler surrounded by bishops. But anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video. I appreciate your support, and I will see you all tomorrow. Have a great day, y'all.